So first is to stories. So thank you. And I also say thank you and thank you again. So chief guests, readers, writers, and lovers of literature, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening again.
Good evening. Good evening.
Yes. We are privileged to have all of you here today to celebrate the winner. Your presence has made this meaningful in its own way. Over the years since we started this book prize, we have been privileged to get each and everyone attendance, participation. Every year we have different faces, and we are happy to see that our vision, that is our idea, because our stories are unique, as we shall see later. Mystery Publishers, we are a Kenyan self-publishing company. Our aim is to hold your hand through the publishing process from beginning to the end to ensure that you get quality. And that quality can only be determined by you, the return of quality checks, but that is as far as it goes. Unless we have now somebody which is independent, like the judging panel. They read those books, they tell us if we are failing, they are going to tell us. If we are, like for example, last year, 2023, one of our books was shortlisted, but it didn't win because the judges felt that it did not meet the quality that we are even looking ourselves. So that is something that we are grateful for, and for this book prize. In addition to that publishing, we also offer audiobook production. We have published 3 audiobooks at the moment, but the third book we have divided into different segments. So that makes it that we have 5 audiobooks which we have produced. The only thing we are lacking in Kenya is the platforms. And those platforms, there is one by Safaricom which is called Songa Play. It is being advertised every morning on radios. And when you go there, you find that it is for music. Audiobooks, they do not have a platform. We aim to be among the first who will create that platform for our home content. Then, apart from audiobook, book publishing, we have book sales, but that one is not so main because we keep on complaining that Kenyans don't read. So if you get into books, into the business of selling books for pleasure, which are not examinable, you are not going to be earning, but it is part of what we do. So there may have been a time when Africa was a literary desert. One of the professors, old professors, said that East Africa is a literary desert. It might have been a time when that was the case, but that has changed, especially with the revolution of self-publishing. Currently, writers do not want to be told what to write. They don't want to be told what to publish. They don't want censorship. And with that, they are going the self-publishing way. The only challenge is you find that they do not know how to navigate that process. Chinua Achebe's challenge in Things Fall Apart, which was published in 1958, he said, until the lion learns how to write, every story will be, what will it be doing? Yes, glorifying the hunter. So, today Africans, we are telling our stories. Whether you are going through mainstream publishing, self-publishing, or you have gotten someone to write it for you, we are telling our stories. Because we were born and raised here. Only for some white man to come and claim that they discovered Mount Kilimanjaro, they discovered the river whereby our ancestors were drinking water from the beginning. And then we are told that it is a white man who came and discovered that. Further, perhaps you will also add to my knowledge about the Bible. The Bible does not say that River Nile is in Africa. Does it clearly say so? We only know of Egypt because there were people who were oppressed there. And those people who were oppressed there, they wrote their history. What did Egyptians write? Perhaps Egyptians were right in oppressing them. We have never heard the story of Egyptians. So the other side of the story, we also need to know it. Oh, that it does not even say that the Queen of Sheba is from the kingdom of Axum, which is in the Tigray province of Ethiopia. Does it say so? So the child that Queen Sheba begot with King Solomon, they established the Solomonic dynasty in Ethiopia. Since then until 1974, when Haile Selassie, the one whom we have named Haile Selassie Avenue after, in 1974 when he was deposed. So we can see that the strength of Africans, our story is being told by other people. So for up to 1974, and from that time Queen Sheba went to King Solomon and they got a child who was Menelik I until 1974. That Solomonic dynasty has been ruling in Ethiopia. When the colonizers came, they tried to conquer Ethiopia. They were defeated. So are we going to say this is the strength of the white or it is the strength of the Africans? So we see that we have heard of that one Emperor Haile Selassie, whom colonizers, and I believe Ethiopia is one of the most authentic cultures we still have today. Because yes, they refused the colonizers, but today they have maintained quite some. Only that now slowly by slowly they are also being conquered. Now they are no longer speaking Amharic only. They are speaking English. The white man is very patient, strategic. So slowly the white man has conquered Ethiopia. If they did not do so through weapons, they got it through ideology, through language, and slowly we are heading there. So Africans in the diaspora have put Africa out there, and we see the big five companies. In the West, there are only big five companies which are very prestigious. Kina Penguin Random House, Simon and Schuster, Little and Brown, they are termed as the big five, and they have purchased all other big companies. So it has become prestige for African writers to be published by them. When you say I'm published by Penguin, you automatically know that you are going to be a millionaire, because the first thing they give you is an author's advance of around 10,000 US dollars. Then you begin from there. So the likes of Chimamanda, Akwaeke Emezi, our own Wajiru Koinange, and others. Back at home, we are navigating this publishing landscape, which is challenging, but self-publishing is changing that. The problem is that self-publishing is risky. For those who might not know what this self-publishing is about, is when you go to mainstream publishing, you give the publisher your manuscript, they even pay you, and then you relax and wait for royalties. One of the writers here has experienced that, Tony Mochama. He has experienced the joy of traditional publishing and self-publishing. But in self-publishing now, it is you who bears the whole cost. You make a financial investment to pay the editor, to pay cover designer, and for editing, for your information, is not only proofreading. There are 5 rounds of editing, and those are 5 people who need to be paid. So if one person is asking you for 50,000 to edit, so times 5 that. So it is a risky venture. However, once you make the financial investment, you also find now the hurdle of recognition at the table of mainstream publishing. The reason we say you find it a challenge is many book prices, when they are announcing, they say that self-published books are not eligible. So if self-publishing books are not eligible, who will ever recognize you? That African story you have written, who will ever recognize you? So that is when now Afrika Redefined book price comes in. This price aims to ensure that as you go about your self-publishing business to tell and redefine your African story, you get it right. You follow industry standards such that a reader coming across your book, across the world, across the globe, they are used to the big five. They are used to how Chimamanda books are structured. When they get hold of your book, they need to feel that indeed this is a quality published books and they can read it. There are many readers in the West I have encountered when we are discussing this. They just open the first book, the first page. When they spot that the design is not in line, they put it aside. There is this website which is called Goodreads. When you go to that, you join that, all book reviews, they are there. And they do not spare anyone, whether you are famous or not. So they will tell you where your book is lacking. So if they find your book is lacking, they say, I did not finish this book. Even myself, there are books I did not finish, written from the West, because I believe they did not meet what I was expecting. So you follow industry standards such that a reader coming across your book will not pass it off because it does not look how books published by Little and Brown, Simon and Schuster, or Penguin Random House look like. Nevertheless, many self-publishing writers ignore the quality bit and focus on the story only. We say, bora andika my story. That is what matters. But even the story itself is sometimes lacking. As highlighted by the chair, there are some stories in this year's edition that they found there were editorial issues, there were typos, story inconsistencies, whereby, for example, Dr. Kiarao has come to this building wearing a suit. But by the time he's leaving, in the story, he's wearing a jeans. So those are inconsistencies which they were identified, whereby it is a story gap which needs to be filled. So I like some of them which I feel that in the next process when you are doing your self-publishing, you should consider. It is very important. The issue of international standard book number. It identifies your book all over the world. It is only one unique number. And in each country, there are organizations which are authorized to sell ISBNs. In Kenya, it is the Kenya National Library. We are lucky in Kenya, it is very cheap. It is just 1,500. But when you go to the West, one ISBN, it costs $200. That is around 20,000. What Amazon has done, they are giving you a free ISBN. They have paid for that. However, they are going to indicate that your book is self-published. You do not want your book to be screaming self-published throughout. So that is one. Two, it is the ebook format. The majority of ebooks had the following weaknesses. They lacked covers, and this made them lose a lot of points. A complete ebook should have a front and back cover, and majority of the ebooks submitted did not have them. If it's not last week, it is 2 weeks ago. The British Council held a publishing landscapes and a perspectives seminar online. They have researched publishing in Kenya, Nigeria, Ghana, Zimbabwe, and South Africa, the main countries in Africa that are at the forefront of publishing. They found that there is an explosion of ebooks. But the kind of ebooks we think they are is the PDF. And that PDF you convert when you are giving it to a printer. That's what many of us think it is the ebook. That's not the case. An ebook is a format in itself which needs to meet its own standards. I will give a few examples. If it is the font type which you are supposed to use for ebook, it should be the one which is readable with the screen, such it is appealing to the eyes. Also, we have writing style. Some stories add plot holes and inconsistencies whereby that example as given of character, for instance, is said to be 30 years in page 9, but when you go to page 56, the character is 34 years. But there is no time elapsed in between that time. The issue of structural editing, use of technical language. Make sure that when you are writing, you are not writing for yourself, because there is a diverse audience which needs to read your story. So some books add very technical language whereby you have locked out a majority of your audience. There is lack of factual checks on the work. Even if it is fiction, if you say a pilot, your character is a pilot, we need to see the pilot doing pre-flight checks. We need to see the pilot qualified to be category A pilot through having having accumulated many flight hours. We need to see the pilot going through normal pilot training. So all of those are factual checks for the character to ensure that they appear credible. There are generalities that are usually in the media. What you see the Nation Media Group is reporting, not Nation Media Group, what the Daily Nation is reporting, you take that without facts checking. Some books are not well referenced, especially non-fiction books. Lack of proper research to make the work credible. That cuts across fiction and non-fiction. Then lastly, it is the theme. Themes not addressing the current and future Africa and envisaged in African Union Agenda 2063 of the Africa we want. The reason we have tied all of this, and this is a disclaimer, we are not in any way connected to African Union. We just see the current leadership of African Union is at least trying to think of a future for Africa. How do they expect us to be in the future? With the revolution of artificial intelligence, everything that is happening in the world. So we are trying now to push the others to write thinking of Africa of the future. Because last year, the keynote speaker, Dr. Shikuku of KU, said that if we do not write our history, we are going to be written out of existence. So the future that we see of Africa will depend on you, me, writing these stories, the way we want it to be shaped. So if we want to have a seat at the table of a self-published author, we must ensure the professionalism and quality of our independently published works so that our literature may be credible and respected globally. This endeavor is not without challenges. Raising funds to support this initiative has been tough. And one of the experiences we have had right now is the sponsors, they need to know what they are getting from this. No one is out there for just charity. They want to get value for their money. But when you give someone value for their money, they are going to control what you are going to do with that money. So has that been an experience we have had in the past 2 years, trying to raise funds? We find that we do not want to be controlled. Because if Dr. Kiara, now you give me 1 million for this book prize, and you know part of the books that have been submitted, you like one, even if it does not win, you are going to be suggesting, I want this book, because you are the one who is financing this. So as ministry publishers, this was just our initiative to give back to the society. The little profits we make from self-publishing, we give back to the writers. So we believe that moving forward, we are going to avoid all of these requests for funds, requests for funding. We just use the resources we have. Because I believe that is where also our continent is going wrong. We depend so much on donations, grants, and loans, instead of looking at the resources we have. So when we say we have set aside only 20,000 for this book prize, that is what we can afford, and we live within our means. Let's not, we have decided that we are not going to be looking for a very grand event, yet we do not have the funds. So to avoid that being controlled. However, we need to come together as Africans to support our own. Our governments are failing, but the collective spirit of our shared beliefs, values, and vision can drive initiatives like this far. Ultimately, we want to support the reading culture in Africa by donating the winning books to community schools and libraries. This is another challenge. 2022, we did not donate as we wanted the number of copies to schools. Yes, we donated a few, but our aim is to donate so much that we influence the reading culture. But that one is not achieved because of also lack of funds. So moving forward now, we will not be saying that we'll be donating, because now you'll be asking me, when are we donating my book? When are we going to do this? Because we need to print, and this one is a source of income even for the author. So when we say we are going to print 1,000 copies and we do not have the funds, so we are also going to remove that as a requirement. But if we get like-minded people, and we are out there are people who have started their libraries, they are looking for books, we partner with them. The donation does not have to be too big. If you give 5 books, that is enough. In conclusion, recognizing and appreciating our writers, whether independent or not, shall be a great force multiplier in developing the Africa we want as per the African Union Agenda 2063 to become an integrated, prosperous, and peaceful Africa, driven by its citizens and representing a dynamic force in the international arena. So I look forward to a time when self-published books will be nominated to the Booker Prize. Not those ones which have been, because what traditional publishers do when they see your book, which is self-published, is doing so well, they give you a deal. They tell you, no, we are going to take over. Now, I'm looking at a time when it is your book. You have been approached by the Booker Prize to submit your book. If it is the Commonwealth, you submit, not because you are submitted through a publisher, because even Commonwealth, they say submitted through a publisher. So when will you self-published authors ever get opportunity? So that is what I'm looking for. If you start looking at those smaller details, in the future, we will get there. So with those remarks, it is my pleasure and honor to welcome you all to the award ceremony to celebrate our authors, where we will be guided by the MC and award the 2024 winner the prize. So thank you very much. Now I hand over to the MC. Thank you.
Very few remarks. Thank you so much. Tuko karibu sana. Asante. So, as I can see, some of you have already finished with your bottles. Thank you very much. Water is very important. But I will request that we keep the environment clean. So if you would like another bottle, Emmanuel is going to come around, and then you can hand him your empty one and any other form of trash that you may have around you, so that we do not spend a lot of time cleaning afterwards, right? Please, thank you. I mean, Barras and Media have been so kind. The least that we can do is clean up after ourselves, right? Thank you. So if you want another bottle, he's going to come around and refill, and then you can give him your empties. Thank you. So at this point, I will invite Kelly again, so that she can usher us in to the most important part of the event that we have been waiting for, the awards. Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Hi, I'm back. So the next poem I'm going to do is from my very first book that I published last year as a self-publisher. So it's called Pages Unturned, and you can get both books at the back there at just 500 bob. Every time I try to explain my healing, my mind goes blank. And then I get frustrated because I can't turn the word blank. It's like getting on a roller coaster. The high is the good days, and the low, well, so here goes. Every day I wake up and not curse the heavens for being alive is a good day. Every day I smile, knowing that I'm not faking it, is a good day. Every day I go out and not think about all the ways I could die is a good day. Every day I don't curl up in a ball and feel like my body shakes from crying is a good day. Every day I put pen to paper and not write a suicide note is a good day. Every day I go to sleep without wishing that I won't wake up is a good day. Every day the darkness doesn't try to pull me back in is a good day. Thank you.
Oh.
Hassan should have come with a disclaimer. It is quite unique. As someone who has struggled quite a bit, I feel that is very interesting material, and I will have to read that again so that I can really take it in. So, I wish we had sound effects for drum beats. But imagine drum beats. Oh wow! For we are all very young at heart. Thank you very much. Thank you. So now I am going to read the ranking of the books. We have heard from the judges that they did a very thorough job in ranking and reading and rating, and I believe that you will get a very nice detailed report. I'm sure the winners from the previous years can attest to the fact that the books have been well looked at. Yes? Fantastic. So without further ado, as much as that word has been used, I'm being a very bad writer. If my book was to be ranked, cliches, thrown out. Alright, so I'm going to read them from, we had 5 entries, so I'm going to read them, starting from number 5. And as you have been told, everybody is a winner. So, yes. So at number 5 is a book that judges found to be inspirational, characterized by determination and success, a source of inspiration to girls and married women. The general feeling is that the writer qualifies as a mentor, which she is. However, the book fell short of addressing Afro-currency and the Afrofuturism themes with an overall rating of 58%. Serving God with Joy by Mary McGann. At number 4 is a largely sociological book, and at 64% is How to Help the Boy Child by Wilson Mashari. And I now realize I am here without certificates. Give me a minute. Who wants to sing for us? No? 1 second. Oh, it is because in previous years I'm usually the one who's helping, the one who's announcing.
Read quite well.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Right. The second runner-up is a book. The second runner-up goes to a book that judges found to be thought-provoking, well-crafted, and educative. The work speaks on a myriad of topics and is easy to sift through and to decipher. It scored 76% on professionalism, 8% on theme, and an overall rating of 72.36%. We invite the 2022 Afrika Redefined Indie Book Prize winner, Derusha Kananu, to announce.
Okay. Pressurize. Is everyone okay?
Yeah.
And second runners-up 2024 is Joshua Omeke.
Okay, Nigeria.
Okay, I greet him from Nigeria. I know if he's watching me, wait for me, I'll be coming.
Fantastic, thank you. And the runner-up was the second best professionally published book at 76.16%, and the second best in addressing the current African theme, scoring 82.20%. Invite the 2023 Afrika Redefined Indie Book Prize winner, Engineer Peter Nduati, to announce and present the certificate to the runner-up.
Before she comes, everybody is a winner. If you can write a book, you are already a winner. I'm being guided. Well, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Runner-up. Run! Cheche, run!
Congratulations.
Run! Back to your seat.
And the winner. They only played, I'm sure you done. And the winner of the 2024 Afrika Redefined Indie Book Prize is the best professionally published following industry standards and the other conventions at 86.05%. The book also effectively addresses the theme of Afro-currency, scoring 83.80%, and an overall rating of 84.93%. We invite our chief guest, Reverend Dr. Leo Simon Itabari Wenda, Senior Lecturer in Systematic Theology and Deputy Vice Chancellor in charge of Administration at Tangaza University, to announce and award the winner with a trophy and the certificates. And in addition to that, the winner will get a cash prize of 20,000.
Good evening, everyone. So it's an honor and a pleasure to announce the winner of 2024 Indie Books Award, Daktari Daniel. We shoot this way, you know. There's somebody else.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Doctor.
Yes. Thank you, Kara.
A few more words.
What do I say? First of all, I'm very excited. True. For two reasons. The first one is that I won. Number two, and equally important, is that the judges agreed that there was a story there. That Africa has a story to tell about itself. And that Africa should not continue just being consumers. Out there, everything. Science, we are supposed to not to have our own science. We have forgotten all these so-called, we call them witch doctors and traditionalists. Those are geniuses. They were taking care of our people for thousands of years. It's only that we have not bothered to find out what is it they are using in herbs. It's demonized, it's primitive. So I'm so grateful that the judges agreed that there is a story. I'm also very happy that the judges agreed that the world today is in the state it is. Chaos and hatred and a lot of things. Just because we are intolerant and we are not ready to accommodate other people's ideas and respect them. That's why they are bombing, actually even some fellows understand they are preparing to use nuclear bombs. To send fellow human beings to smoothness just because they don't agree on religion. That's the state of the world. So, as Keraho, I feel very honored and so happy. And I feel I should thank each one of you for actually being here to witness this big day. Lastly, I want to tell you something. I use the name Dan Cairo. Okay, those are my names. But that's not what I'm known. It's a pen. It's a pen name. And there was a reason. My son is also a writer. And he stole my name. So he's called Kimari, he knows him, they're neighbors. Yes, he used the word Cairo, not Cairo, Cairo. So he used it, and because he's in Amazon and all that, I thought it would bring a lot of duplications. So being the older man, people out there know me as Keraho. not Cairo. But my real name is Cairo. Kiaraho is my father's name. Adam, the other, not my father. That's why I'll keep this and not give it to him.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations. If I had the voice, I'd sing congratulations. But anyway, I do not. So, I will invite you yet again to check out the author's books back there. They have also brought other titles that were not nominated, so you can check those out as well. And now I have the humble honor to invite the chief guest. As you have heard, he is the lecturer, a senior lecturer in systematic theology and deputy vice chancellor in charge of administration, planning and finance at Tangaza University. Karibu sana.
Thank you, Madam MC. You're great, someone observed. I want to read my speech so that I can say everything I wanted to say. But before I do that, I want to bring, NB, a couple of things that I have had from the CEO of Mystery Publishers. I told him this is a revolutionary idea, and thank you for conceiving this idea. There is this lady who asked us to write in Kiswahili. She's there, beautiful lady. You know, it has been my dream that one day Kiswahili will become a lingua franca for Africa. And I'm glad and I'm happy that a young person like you is thinking in that line. So I'm consoled. Clap for that girl. Clap for her. But one would have it hard to conceive that you're a medical doctor, think you're an artist. What you are doing is great. And we will need to have some conversation, especially these Kizungu names. Where, you are thinking hard and broad, and keep it going on, and keep writing. Congratulations, Daktari and the other authors. To Wapigie Makofi. So, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to begin really again by registering my sincere gratitude to Mystery Publishers and the other partners who have been organizing and enabling this occasion where we celebrate talents, we recognize talents among writers and artists in Africa. The best kind of art or writing holds up as a mirror to society. This is a quote associated to one Liam Cunningham, who is an Irish actor. And this shows us the intellectual and moral dimension of art besides entertainment. Whenever there are human beings, communities are formed. For human beings are social by nature. It is also the case that it's the only rational and practical way to form societies, for human beings to safeguard their interests and to experience the general progress that makes their lives more comfortable by the fact of formation of human communities. There arises need for conventions that would bind the community together for its own survival. Worldviews are formed, and these worldviews are maintained by religious convictions and education. And from here, art finds its foundation and material for its explorations. People with artistic gifts are naturally found in human communities. In the Judeo-Christian tradition, it is God himself who gives the gift of art, the artistic genius to men and women so that they can do his will. A star demonstration of this is seen in the book of Exodus. After God gave Moses directions on how to design the sanctuary, the Ark of the Covenant and the items for ritual offerings, God himself inspired experts to help Moses accomplish this task. And I quote, Yahweh says, I have singled out Bezalel, son of Uri, son of Hul, of the tribe of Judah, and I have filled him with the divine spirit of skill and understanding and knowledge in every craft, in the production of embroidery, in making things of gold and silver, or bronze, in cutting and mounting precious stones, in carving wood and in every other craft. And as his assistant, I myself have appointed Oholiab, son of Ahisamach, of the tribe of Dan. I have also endowed all experts with the necessary skills to make all things I have commanded you. End of the quote from Exodus 31, verses 3 to 6. In every human community, my friends, then you find men and women gifted in artistic writing, poets, novelists, theater, music producers. Others are gifted in artistic images, carvings, singing, acting, and so on. Being the Christian I am, allow me to put it to you that these gifts, though recognized and exercised in this world, of their very nature, they propel the artist to a vocation that transcends this world. Since art has the capacity to engage the psychosomatic, the psychospiritual, and the intellectual dimensions of the human being at an instant, then, and in a way, then art has the capacity to communicate truths and higher values in a way that humanities, social and even physical sciences, philosophy and theology cannot. Besides entertainment and inebriation of the human spirit, of course, it is precisely in the service of these higher values, truth and goodness, that artists are able to reach the epitome of their accomplishments. Artists, therefore, need to possess an intellectual and moral compass which guides their work. A morality that is guided in truth and goodness cannot be any morality, for the simple fact that all truths to which human mind is naturally wired to search, all goodness which elicits the sense of beauty and desire, is traceable back to one source, God, whom Christians call the Father of our Lord Jesus Christ. Values that belong to transcendental truth and goodness are the kind of values that exert pressure on the human consciousness and the body to recognize them as perfections coming from the divine other. Everyone knows that it takes constant training, vigilance, discipline of the body and mind to remain truthful, to remain honest, to be just, to be kind towards other human beings, to work for what you eat and share with others what you have. To possess these values require that you exert pressure on our baser tendencies and appetites, insatiable appetite for pleasure, amassing of material things, greed for power, and vain glory. The survival of every society depends on its capacity to gather a sufficient number of people who tends more towards transcendental values of truth and goodness than those who tend towards baser and disordered appetites of the soul and of the body. For the good of every society, what's the problem? Sorry. So we are saying that the survival of every society depends on its capacity to gather a sufficient number of people who tend more towards transcendental values of truth and goodness than those who tend more towards the baser and disordered appetites of the soul and the body. For the good of every society, there need to be a constant orientation of the public consciousness towards the higher values. This is where the artists and the writers come in. When artists and their corresponding producers like publishers get to know their role, they position themselves as shapers of public opinion towards what is true, towards what is good. This is what I mean when I say that artistic creativity and production can become a vehicle to a better human society. The condition of our country, Kenya, today in relation to these transcendental values is pathetic, as you all know. In politics, in business, even in the social and religious space, truthfulness, justice, general goodness, mercy, charity are alarmingly deficient. We need enough people in this country who recognize our condition as a path to our own suicide as a society and engender a firm purpose for change. We certainly can't live long as a society with the brand of politics in which is all about scheming for power and maximizing money for those in power to make at the peril of the ordinary folks. We certainly cannot live long when citizens have to pay bribes to get the services for which they pay taxes to the government, from the county government to the Ministry of Lands to police departments, to mention just a few. Artists today can find a cue from generations past. Literary artists like the legendary Ngugi wa Thiong'o of Kenya used his literary creativity to speak truth to power. You young artists and writers in Africa today use art to denounce many things, among them religious vampires roaming around this country and meeting psychological, spiritual manipulation of vulnerable people. You can use art to educate the people that authentic religion doesn't throw reason out of the window. And such religion does in fact exist, as it makes human beings more authentically human. Volodymyr Zelensky, who is turning out to be an exceptional and remarkable leader of Ukraine at this time of war, thank you, of Russian aggression, is an entertainer turned politician. Maybe you know that, you should know that already. Certainly, art has formed this man. Think of our own Gen Z social media warriors who played a great role in pushing our senseless political class in this country to drop the infamous finance bill. Unfortunately, they have gone back to their comfort zones again. Now, there is even a shameless talk of extending office terms for politicians. We got a job to do in this country. Going into the future, may I urge African writers, African arts, not to neglect the tech space. Please recognize how technologically powered space like social media, activism, and creativity has power for positive change in society, despite its capacity for misinformation, which I believe we can manage. On this day then, I am honored to appreciate and recognize our artists and writers, especially the award-winning and the runners-up, and everyone who submitted their work in this award, for this award ceremony. I want to congratulate you and to thank you sincerely for the job that you have done. Mr. Dan Cairo, Mr. Tom Mochama, Mr. Joshua Mekin from Nigeria, the three winners, congratulations, because of the exceptional artistic production that you have done. I pray that the Spirit of God that inspired Bezalel continue to inspire you, so that you may use your artistic creativity for service of humanity and glory to God. Finally, as you have heard, I come from Tangaza University. At Tangaza University, our main expertise is mostly in the space of social sciences, humanities, and art. Writing is one of the things we love encouraging. I want to appeal to Mr. Vincent DePaul, the CEO of Mystery Publishers, that we keep talking. I know that universities can complicate issues, and you said that that's what you don't want. Universities can complicate issues, true. But we keep talking, Mr. Vincent DePaul, and probably we may find areas of collaboration between Mystery Publishers and we'll certainly be happy to work with you. My dear friends, thank you for coming. I have two friends here, apart from Jerusha. You know Jerusha is one of you. So there are two other friends who came with me, Faith and Sister Anne. Please wave. So I'm sure you're seeing this thing for the first time, so I'm sure you have been enriched. So thank you for coming with me. Jerusha and the CEO, of course, hawa ni watu hapa ndio wanatupanga. So thank you very much. Thank you everyone.
Thank you so much, Chief Guest, and thank you for your offer, for continued partnership. We really appreciate it. So at this juncture, I am so glad that we started quite late, that we've been able to catch up with time, and everybody will be able to go home at the appropriate time, just as we had promised. Thank you so very much. At this point, I would like us to just hold our hands like this. Thank yourself for coming. Thank you so much for coming. I'm so happy to have had to spend the afternoon with you. It's not easy, honestly, to conceive an event in your mind, to invite people and for people to show up. It honestly is not. At this juncture, I will invite the CEO of Mystery Publishers, once again, our host, to thank us to give a vote of thanks. Next time we'll have somebody else from Mystery Publishers giving the vote of thanks. We're looking for more employees.
So, good evening, and once again,
Good evening.
yes, we thank you for your patience up to this time. we are nearing the end, and any event is not complete until we say thank you to each and every individual organization who supported us. Before I continue with my vote of thanks, this idea of the trophy we have is one for it to be like the World Cup, the way it is. So it's only with more money we can make it better and more recognizable. So the idea of one winner comes from a prize. When you are competing for a prize, it is only one person. But when you go for book awards, of which we have been requested to consider going to book awards, now you have different categories. You have non-fiction, you have poetry, you have all of that, and then you have a winner in each and every category. You have prize cash for each category. So if we get a lot of money that we hope to make from publishing your books, we will have now awards for each and every category and still do the same. So in the meantime, we have the prize, and this trophy, it is the creativity of one of our partners and an artist at art. So I will not say more about him. I would like to invite him to come, introduce himself, tell us what he was thinking when he was designing all of this, and where he sees this trophy going. So help me welcome from Tinderet System and also co-founder of Usanii Mashariki Gallery.
And congrats to the winner. Okay. Can I borrow this kid? No.
Higher purchase.
Asante sana, everybody. Thanks for coming out. This is a different venue from the other one, so I understand why the turnout is the way it is. But we are here, and that's what is important. So thank you, CEO of Mystery Publishers. You met. You came to one of my events at Gallery. It's an event called Gallery Book Night. So I host local authors, self-published. I invite musicians. Most of them are people who only sing in their bathrooms. And they only sing original songs. So the authors meet the audience, and then we talk. They read a bit about their books, and then we just have a very long session until almost 8 or 9. This we do at the Gallery at Waterfront Karen. So I'm one of the founders. I run it. It's actually a community gallery, very different from any gallery you've ever entered. So when you get time, you go over there.
No, when are your sessions?
Now my sessions, I haven't had my sessions for almost 2 years because I got sadly I got an injury. So some human beings hit me on the head behind it. So I got a concussion. So for 2 years I haven't been going to the gallery. I just run it online, but my brother is there, Maina Maseti. And we have our volunteer artists. So I used to have a session once every 2 months, and also do other sessions at the gallery. I do training for men and women, manhood training and life training. So that is Tinderet System, which is here. So Tinderet is the highest mountain, the highest hill of Nandi Hills. And I believe it's the source of Nyando River, I believe. I stand to be corrected. And Tinderet means place of lightning. And from our sharks, when I sit at the little place I've built, I look at Tinderet right there. So it inspires me. And I call it Tinderet System because what I train is based on the system. And it's a system that incorporates our traditional way of living of life as Africans and our modern westernized, urbanized, colonized, Christianized, regionalized system. So tailored system is just a way of living. So the talks I do are actually training. So when I do it by myself, I'm tailored system. When I'm at the gallery, it's UM Gallery, myself and my brother. And we have over 200 artists exhibiting over there. I'll tell you only one unique thing about the gallery before I speak about this trophy. We are the only gallery that connects the artist directly to the buyer. So when somebody enters the gallery and they like your work and they ask for your contacts, you just give them your contacts. They can call you directly. And if they want to buy, they come to your studio and buy from you. That's well and good because we have all artists and full-time artists. If they buy from the gallery, we only take 20% commission. And it's inside our artist submission form agreement that you as an artist, you must put your contact at the back of every artwork. If you don't put it, you don't allow it in the gallery. Yeah? So we don't want middlemen or middlemen. So that's the UM Gallery. And all artists are equal in the UM Gallery. So after you came for the event, the gallery book night, we hosted you with your book. It was Diaries of a Bachelorette. Yes. Very nice book. So you talked about an event that you want to create, an award ceremony for independent publishers. The only one in Africa, I believe, at the moment. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So it was something you spoke about. You needed sponsors, you needed partners, and we kept talking. Then you asked me to design it for you, and I did this design. We had some brainstorming session. So this is basically a book. If you look at that, that's a book. And this is an eagle. And that is the spine of the book, holding the eagle up. And this is a pen. Because some wise men say that the pen is mightier than the sword. And they were quite correct. So this symbolizes, this is very simple, by the way. It symbolizes the simplicity of an idea and the strength of an idea. It can fly, it can take you wherever you go. And I always tell my artists, the guys we exhibit with, I always tell them, your art is your ticket to any palace in Europe or Africa. You can have a sculpture or a statue or a painting, and a king can walk. Somebody you never even meet, not on the street, not in any event, but they'll look at your artwork and they'll ask, who did this? Maybe they'll buy it, put it in their palace. And they'll say, I want to see the person who did this. And you'll be invited to the palace, you speak to the king. And when you speak to the king, a very simple thing happens. He speaks to you like an equal. That's number one. Second thing, he speaks to you like somebody above him, because you called forth an idea from the unknown into the known. So this is what this symbolizes. A simple idea can take you very far. So I gave him a few options, and we selected this. And it's a work in progress because we keep improving it. If a chance comes and you see the other awards, 2022, 23, and 24, you'll see subtle improvements. Yeah. So it's an honor to work with the CEO Vincent because he's very understanding of the creative process. Yeah. And this is made out of, we wanted to use ebony, but ebony is an endangered species of wood. So this is just mahogany, which we dyed to look like ebony. Ebony, I believe, you'll tell us why you wanted ebony, but I believe ebony is strength. Yeah. It's the dark, primeval power. Even before light, there was darkness. There was darkness, and then let there be light. So the source of everything is just dark. It's not light. So that's why it's the way it is.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll have a photo with you, but we can do photos later.
Yeah, we have it in the next photo session.
Thank you, Brother Dan, for loaning me this.
So thank you, Suma, for that. So it's a good partnership we are having, whereby our aim is to support art and artists in our simple ways. And another thing as mystery publishers we are doing is we are also going into stage playing and film production. Our first play will be premiering at UM Gallery, directed by our uncle and able editorial director, Yvonne, our MC. Slowly we are doing our small great things. What I think it is Martin Luther King who said that. Those small great things you keep on doing are the ones which will culminate to a larger bit. So thank you. Two, we want to recognize Nuria. Here they are. Were it not for them, we would not have gotten this venue, because as you can see around, there are books. All of these are books from Nuria. And Nuria, when he came into play in Kenya, he revolutionized book distribution. I tried to get my books to Textbook Center. They are still there. 5 years, they are still evaluating. They told me they will get back to me. And other bigger bookshops we have gone to. But Nuria does not care what your book looks like. You take the book to him, it shows you the shelf, tells you put your books there. Create an account. Then every sale you are going to get your money. Even if it is 200 shillings, you withdraw that. It's going within 5 minutes, you have your money. So since Nuria has had this relationship before with Baraza Media, we requested, what can you do to help us to get a venue? And they told us that, don't worry, we will have you sorted. So thank you very much, Nuria. And Baraza Media, this is a creative space. As you can see the way it is. It is a creative space. It is giving us opportunities, because when you come to this, you get here, you feel that your creative juices are flowing. So we thank Nuria and Baraza Media for that. We have Edison Studios and Pix Media. These guys who are curating us. Thank you very much for doing this. We have Maisha Yetu Media Company. Maisha Yetu, they help us in online marketing. And also sometimes they help us get to the media. For example, today, the Saturday Nation of today. Who has read it? Who has a copy?
Who?
A copy of the Saturday Nation.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You can let me know.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can open where you think I'm referring.
Of course. Yeah. Good.
Yes.
Can I say something? Just as the first runners-up, I was the first person to review Dr. Dan's book, and I believe you are the very one winner. I thoroughly enjoyed the book, and I loved all the elements that it covered. I saw my review of it last year. So even today when I walked in, I was a bit worried that I might I just came off fresh from Jomo Kenyatta break, but today I was a bit worried because I do know even the ideas of Afrofuturism. So I'm very, very, very happy, and congratulations.
Yes, what I wanted to refer to you to is page 16 of Saturday Nation. Is the book review of the winning book.
Yeah.
Please have a copy, read and see what others are saying about this. Because this is a person we met during a book event. They loved the book. They said, let me go and read it. And then they were very, let's say, generous enough to talk to their networks and have it here. So we are grateful for that. We have generous souls who have contributed their funds. they have decided to remain anonymous, and they requested, please don't mention me, but wherever they are, we are very grateful to them. Last year we raised around 50,000. That is where we were able to add some money to the cash prize, which we gave the winner to be 30,000. This year we did not manage to raise those funds, but 2 people said, I love your ideas and we want to support you. So one of them said, get here 20,000, another one get here 10,000, but they said, I don't want to be mentioned. But what they have done is they have enabled us to organize all of this. Some logistics. Judges have traveled from very far. One of the judges has traveled from Tanzania to be here today. So, Richard, just wait to, yes, that is the one. We might not be able to cover the flight back to Tanzania, but what they have contributed, it is going to, at least, you're using a lot of knowledge by hand. So whatever means you are going to use to cover some percentage. Yes. So these people, they, as I have said, what we are lacking is systems that are working. If governments could support all of these, we could have very many. Even we could have Boogie recognized back at home and then get an opportunity out there. So those people, if we get more of them, we are going to go far. So deep thank you to the judging panel, led by writer and press Shiko Kimani. She sent her apologies when we were starting. Unfortunately, her kid got unwell. We had planned everything, what we are going to do when she comes, all of that. But she sent her apologies. I just told her, please take care of the kid, and I'm praying she gets well soon. So, Shiko Kimani, Lesalon Kasaini, Xavier Omweri, Richard Budia, Dr. Karen Ogiampo, Dr. Michael Dickon from Israel, led by the passionate Lexa Lubanga. She has led them since last year, this year, and I believe in the next edition. For your time, commitment, and dedication to reading and evaluating the submitted books. We wouldn't have had this ceremony were it not for you. The advisory board, they have been giving us good guidance on what to do. For example, 2023, we had public voting, whereby if an author, we wanted to introduce the books to their followers. But we found that the authors, some of them have got many followers on Facebook. If you cannot compete with someone with 300 followers. But the way we wanted it is, when we introduce it, these followers, this public, it is only going to be 10%. But now, when you see your followers are recommending your book, they are liking, and your book has got like over 80%, you think you are the winner. So when the judges went and sat down and read the books, those who are very popular, they became last. And there was an element of, no, this system is corrupt. So this year, the advisory report guided, we are not going to be having public voting. So we thank you for that. And at least we are sure that there was no influence from the public. It was only the judges. However, as our chief guest has intimated that we can partner. What the judging, the advisory report guided is, we can go the college voting way, whereby you see in the US when elections are complete, there is a college of people who sit down and now elect and say this is the president. So a president can be popular, but it will not be voted per college. So that is the system we wanted to adopt, whereby we are going to be having college voting. And this is where now universities will come in, because that is where a lot of reading departments which are well structured are there. And you would love to, if possible, with the next edition, now we go to college voting, whereby after the judges have evaluated everything, we take them to this committee of intellectuals. They also tell us, Because our judges are readers, this is not someone in the literature department. They are editors, they are publishers, they are writers, as you have seen. Others are already lecturers. So even when we are going to share the reports, you are going to see the one which is reviewed by a lecturer, it is very well structured. It has lacked 1, 2, 3. If it is analyzing themes, they have analyzed them the way the universities want. But when you go to the reader has told us what they want to see. When you go to the editor, no, the editor in the end is the one which is saying the book is not well edited. It did not meet them. So all of those, when they come together, they make the criteria more comprehensive. So we consider to be partnering with universities for college voting. I give my heartiest appreciation to Open Mic performer Kelly Wagari. Thank you for your time. The ushers, Hope. You have been there. Thank you very much. He's the one who was ushering us in. We have the other team, the team with the cameras, Innocentius and Emmanuel, for distributing the water. Thank you very much. The Secretariat of Newspaper Publishers, the Secretariats of this book prize and publishers team for their dedication and commitment to this initiative. The Master of Ceremonies, Yvonne Wamuyu. Thank you to previous winners, Jerusha Kanani Marete and Engineer Peter Duarte for accepting our invitation to come and also at least motivate this. So, lastly, I cannot thank each and every one of you enough for your to take part of this competition. This does not mean that you are failed. We are all winners in that writing itself. But since we have also a criteria that we want to adhere, we have a vision of what we want to achieve, there still must be what we are looking for only one person. But this does not mean you'll be demoralized in any way. Continue writing. We do not say if you are a previous shortlisted author, not to submitting them. So when you get the reports, please go through them, look at what the judging panel identified, improve, and then you can submit in the next one. Submissions for the next edition, which is 2025 edition, open on 1st November. Just last week, in the next week. So you can check the other interested. Yes, next week, the 2025, they are going to open. Then we aim to be having the award ceremony usually in June. So that will not be going to November. Then lastly, as I sign off, I would like to invite one of the officials of Baraza Media, our host, to say something about Baraza Media support to the arts. Please, Alad. After that, since they are our host, then we are going to go to the last session, which is the photo session, as we finalize.
Hello everyone. Hello. My name is Jerry. Here is Baraza. It's a co-working space. And you are most welcome. And you can be our member. If you want to
Wait, can you repeat on the mic?
Yes, this is Baraza Media. And it's a co-working space. You can be our member, and if you want to know more about Baraza, you can just pass here. I will tell you more about it. You are most welcome.
Thank you, our most gracious host. Excellent, Ada. Fantastic. And it's just 5 minutes to 5. We are done. Okay, one more section. Psych. Anyway, so the last session is a short photo op session. Unajua kwa Afrika, ukitoka bila kupiga picha.
Disappear kutoka maisha. Inaitwa pisha.
Lazima mpigwe kapisha. So kindly let's move this one. And then I'm going to request last year's winner and the other year's winner to come in front here, and all the awards, all the 5 holders to come here, and the winner, you're among the 5 holders, but yes, come here and take a picture with Vincent and myself. Let's take a big group picture. Oh, and the chief guest, and most importantly, the trophy. And as I will remind you, as we leave, let us clean up our
Can move closer to each other.
Caribbean name.
Move closer to each other.
Got it?
Yes.
Did you get the smile?
Most definitely.
All right. Let us have the chief guest and the all the 5 writers and the chief guest.
There's a camera and a smile.
Hey. Nice.
Good.
Wonderful.
Fantastic. The chief guest, we're going to just stay there, and the judging panel. Let me take that one first. Okay. Kindly move.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Guys, you almost said that.
Right. Yeah. Well, thank you. All right, the judging panel. No, you're right there.
Okay.
Right there.
Okay.
Kama mnataka viti. Uko sawa?
Tuko sawa.
Hapa.
Juu ya podium.
Juu ama chini?
Juu ya podium.
Kindly move closer.
That's what create like a sea.
Like a sea of sorts. Yeah, there. Can smile. Thank you so much.
All right, let's. The secretariat. The secretariat. Everybody, the advisory. Yeah.
You are part of the secretariat.
The winner, you hold your prize.
I hold my prize.
Yes.
Proudly.
Nice.
Next up, Vila. The rest. Yeah. You.
The prize of a winner.
guest, you may sit.
Thank you.
I'm the youngest.
Yes. You got it? Yes. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Suma, yours in there.
I'll shake your hand. It's true.
Thank you. Good work.
Shaking. Yeah, I've got it. Alright, and now, and now you may, and now the winner can stay right there, and everybody else would like a picture with him, okay, come on stage. You. Okay, so, thank you.
Yeah.